Breaking news. I'm sorry to interrupt The Walking Dead. We cut right in here. We'll go back to the normally scheduled program after this, but we just got in some, as I said, some breaking news. Nikon announced the new camera tonight. It is the Nikon D400. Oh my gosh, we've been waiting for this for a while. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being corrected. It's the Nikon D4S. Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, let's jump right into those specs and jump right into that announcement right now. Then you go back to The Walking Dead. So here it is, the Nikon D4S. Nikon finally said, boom, we're going to put it out there. Pictures were leaked months ago, so it is finally it. Huge debates on whether the focusing issues were going to be improved or what megapixel was it going to be a beast. This 46 megapixel, was it going to be a 16, a 24, whatever? Well, all of those have been answered in this video. So for this Nikon D4S preview, I'm going to run through the specs, tell you really what this is for, and yeah, once again, yeah, it's obviously this. It's an expensive camera, but it's for certain people. But let's run it down and I'll compare it to what it had in Nikon D4 and did it really improve anything. So it's their new flagship camera. Obviously, they always say that. It is the 16 megapixel sensor. They didn't go for a 24. They didn't go for a 36 or a 50 like they were saying. And one of the main issues that a lot of people had, and a lot of the YouTube photographers even mentioned it, was on the D4 they had the one XQD card slot and then a CF, the compact flash spot. And it still has that. For some reason, they still put that in the camera. I don't know what they're waiting for, but I believe the XQD card is for something down the road. That's another video. And one of the huge specs you're going to hear, well, two, is that it does 11 frames per second, which is really nice. I mean, it's a nice little boost, and it's great. It'll do better for sports. And that its ISO is from 100 to 25,600, but now it's high 4 setting. So if you go all the way up high, past the native setting, it is 409,600. Now, what does that mean? Necessarily, that shot's going to be mush anyway, but that means shots at like 6,000, 10,000, that they're going to look better, which is great, fantastic, perfect. And one of the huge things that I've been covered in my why Nikon sucks video. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. Is that they're putting more video-like things into this camera, because with the Nikon D4 they had for full 1080p HD video they only did 30 frames per second, even though the 60 frames per second for better quality and slow motion was already out there. They put that in the Nikon D4S, so that's great to see. You still have your mic inputs and everything like that. But with this camera, you are going to have to get a new battery. It's the Nikon EN-EL18A, and it's rated to over 3,000 shots. Perfect, great, awesome. One of the interesting things is it weighs the exact same as the Nikon D4. It's 41.6 ounces, so it's got a little bit of weight because it is a unibody. Covered a lot of the main, specs that with this, but it still does 1/8000 max shutter. It has 51 autofocus points. You can still do Wi-Fi, 14-bit raw file that's uncompressed. And one of the cool things though, that it's been tested to have 400,000 shutter actuation. So its shutter life is rated up to 400,000. Obviously that can go, to left field and die in 50 shots, or it can go past that as well. That is something that never comes to seem. So really, that is your Nikon D4S. So it's a new camera. It is $6,499.95 or whatever, $6,500 camera. I'm pretty sure if you have a D4, you should be set, but a lot of people from the D4 will just go, all right, well, here you go. I'm going to upgrade to the D4S. And once again, that's going to happen. So was there major improvements? There was, in a way. This ISO is going to be better, but with the D4, you're already getting, something amazing anyway. And one of the big things, the perks to me, I'm not really going to go with D4 anymore because I don't care. The huge perk for me is that it's not a megapixel beast because you don't need it. That's what the D800 is there for. So that's huge for me. I'm glad it's 16. I'm glad it's not this 50 megapixel camera because it doesn't need to be. So I'm very happy about that. Frames per second is perfect. The quality is still there. I'm glad that they put in 60 frames a second for their video. But now with the release of the D4S, or the announcement the release is coming, what it's going to do is it is going to drop the price of the D4, obviously. That's going to be discontinued sometime soon. But what you're going to get is the D3S market, and I'm kind of around this market as well, because I might think of maybe upgrading my D700 to the 3S, just for little things, little tweaks, in mind. It's going to drop the price of the D3S on the used market. So you will get a very good quality shutter life under $40,000 for like $3,000 possibly, maybe even cheaper than it already has. So that might knock about $400 to $600 off of what is already out there. So the insane specs is the higher ISO, which is great. Once again, you're going to be able to shoot 1 million ISO and it's going to look okay in the near 10 years anyway. I like the, as I said, I like the fact that the video's in there, but I really want to know what you guys like about it. And yeah, I know there's Canon shooters that watch my videos as well, but in general, just looking at the specs, is this something you would want in a Canon camera? Well, the 1DX covers a lot of this stuff, so will there be like a 1DXS type of thing? I don't know. Please let me know down in the comments below what you think of these specs, what you think of the camera. Is it really a good parallel move? Is it really an upgrade? Is it something really new that should have happened, or what? You know that these cameras get cycled every year, every 2 years, and even on the consumer line, every couple months. So will Canon come out with the next 1DXS? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Okay, don't mind that. It's fine. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time. Once again, the D4S is something that's been huge. A lot of the D4 shooters have been looking for this camera because they want better focusing. So this is something that might, you know, happen to them. So if you guys have any questions, please write them down in the comments below. Follow me at any of the links on the screen, and we can talk from there. Everyone keep an eye out, and you never know, Canon might come out with something else.